What's going, guys? Aarava here, and welcome back to another episode of my Motorsport Manager Career Mode. We've got event number 8 coming up, the Brazilian Grand Prix, and we're continuing to improve our car as much as we can. Last episode, obviously, things got a bit, I would say the red mist descended for a little bit there. But, I'm going to just stick with the course, stick with it, try and improve the car even more. I mean, look at this. I mean, we're above average now. You know, we've been used to being 9th best on the grid and having to do with that. We're now 5th best on the grid, so I feel like we just continue progressing. Yeah, eventually we'll have to make the step up to F1. I think it's just about remaining positive, really. So in terms of that, I've started development of a new suspension part. Finally, we can do I think it was a good level of suspension, so that's quite a bump up actually compared to where we were in terms of the suspension parts we've got right now. And in terms of our improvements that we're making at the moment, you can see one day before the race we'll get the gearbox done, the brake done, the front wing and the rear wing, one set of each done before this race, for this next race. So Brazil will have a good amount of parts up to their potential max. And in terms of reliability, I've decided to put a bit on the engine side, because what was happening is now I'm starting to get to that point where I can push quite a bit throughout the race, and now the engine needs a bit more than 80% to actually, allow me to keep on pushing, essentially. And then I'm improving the brakes and one of the suspension parts, just in case those are going to fail on us. But more focus on current performance now, because we're kind of pretty much at a point where every part is, I believe, over 70%. In terms of the parts we're actually selecting each race. So we're at a pretty decent area of reliability. So now it's more about performance. And also soon I'll start, obviously, because we're around 8. We have only got how many races left? What's that? 6 races, not including Brazil, left. It's time to slowly start thinking about creating risky parts that are going to be so much better than the ones I've got right now. And obviously just keeping those, as I've mentioned before in this series, keeping those for the end of the season. Because obviously from season to season, the risky part goes away. The risky, part of the part goes away, and we can just keep the performance for next season, which obviously carries forward. So that's kind of what we're going for today. We'll probably start doing that actually this episode, probably in between Brazil and what's the next race? It is Australia. So Australia, crucial for acceleration and low speed. Brazil coming up, top speed, obviously engine part spec, so that's fine. High speed corners, if you look back at our car, we're pretty damn good at high speed corners, so I'm hoping this is a very successful weekend for us. But I don't know if I'm going to do qualifying or not. I'll decide after practice. I'll decide if I'm actually going to try qualifying again or not. I know I did decree last episode that I wouldn't be trying it forever, but we'll see how I feel after practice. But let's get into that. I don't think there's actually much coming up for the next few days in this calendar up until the race, really. Suspension parts done, so actually that's one thing we can do. We can get straight on to making some new parts again. And Cruz has tied the knot. Cruz is married now at the moment, so is that going to be positive for him? Apparently it is. Okay, great, good job, Cruz. You were a bit of a kind of how should I say, like bachelor. Parting bachelor previously in the series. If you remember, he had an affair with, I can't even remember her name, but it was like his teammate, but now he's hitched. Okay, so fair enough. Anyway, we're going to fit this part, new suspension part. It's infinitely better. Yeah, infinitely better. So we need to get straight on improving that. So engine 87%, 82. Let's add on. Actually, let's keep both suspensions. Let's just add on. Actually, no, let's not do that. Let's just put this one on. Let's put all our focus onto this. Get that really high up there. We can afford to do that. I think that's going to be a good strategy to do that. And then we're going to go back to the design part. Now, which part should we design next? I think, could we go for gearbox? So we've got a new sort of gearbox. That's plus 30. Plus 20. That's still not much of an improvement, to be honest. That's really not much of an improvement. Gearbox is one of those ones where we have to make a second iteration already, because our third iteration will unlock slot 3. So I can't get to great until I make this kind of one part, even though it's not going to be so much better than what I've got right now. But which one's actually going to be 40 to max? That's going to be a big improvement then. Go with these two. I've got the highest potential yet for my gearbox of 563. This is 558, so 563. I think I'll go with that. That's going to cost us 1.15 million, which is quite a bit. It's also going to have... this one's not actually going to have any risky time to it, actually. This one's not going to have a risk level. And it is the better option because this is just plus 30 flat. This is plus 40 to the max, so that'll be more worth it in the long run. So I'm going to go and build this part, and that means on the next iteration we can then finally go on to great in terms of the gearbox, and then that's when we can look at these 2 risk levels. You can see plus 60 risk level plus 1. That is a big one to maybe go for, but we have to get this build out of the way. I say get out of the way, it's still going to be a better gearbox, the best one we've got so far once we improve it, but you know what I mean. I'm trying to get to that point where we're getting the biggest step forward possible. Got a little rumor before. We've got suspicious about media reports. Okay, minus 30 on morale. Okay, great. Oh, what? You heard rumors you're... What? I'm not getting rid of you? I'm not going to get rid of you. Why would you say that? I've not said anything in any interviews or anything like that I was going to get rid of her. Well, that's annoying. That means she's just going to perform worse for no apparent reason. Great. Okay, let's go to the Grand Prix. So, in terms of the sponsor target, we're going to choose. I think I'll play it a little bit safer and go for the 3rd or above rather than 2nd or above. It's not too much of a difference. It's only 200k really in the grand scheme of things, which is not too bad. In terms of the weather, it's going to be stormy and then heavy rain in qualifying. So maybe I don't want to go for qualifying this time and actually take it. Maybe I'll just take the instant result. But race is going to be clear. In terms of the fit parts, how was our suspension actually looking? That new one got up to 75%. That's very good. Very good to see. So we can fit that straight away. So I'm going to fit this one onto Balcazar. I'm going to give this one to Cruz. He is unhappy. I don't really care. She's delighted, apparently, so that's a good thing for us. In terms of the gearbox, they're the same reliability, so why don't I be a little bit fairer? He's still unhappy. She's still happy, so that's fine. Actually, you know what? Screw it. Screw it. I'm going to go back to my old strategy of just giving her the best parts because she is the better driver. Just, yeah, you know, I was trying to play it fair, but really in the grand scheme of things, it probably hasn't worked out for the best because both of them are 4th and 6th rather than 2nd and 7th, which is better in my opinion. Right, so practice has ended. Very weird practice session. It sort of, you can see here, went to heavy rain, then went back to dry for literally a minute, and then came back to heavy rain. So I've only managed to get race level trim 2. We got wet tyre level 1. We didn't even get any levels for any dry tyres, unfortunately. So that'll be the case for most of the teams, though, unless one team stuck it out on dries. So for the entire race, everyone's going to be on a very level pegging order in terms of what perks they have in terms of the dry tyres. But race trim, we've still done an okay job to get level 2. And at least we got level 1 for wet tyres. That means in qualifying we could use those to good use if it does actually go full heavy rain for that. In terms of the setup, I know Balcazar is on a 96%. For Cruz, I actually kept him out there trying to get that level 1 on the wet tyre. So I actually have no idea what his setup's like. I don't think even he knows what it's like. Yeah, he has no idea if this latest setup I put him on is any good. You can see it kind of mimics Balcazar, so I'm hoping that he finds that okay. I guess we'll have to just find out now. But in light of the fact that it's going to start dry right now, I might take qualifying because we could sneak a very surprise, you know, entry in, I think, potentially. Right, I'm sending both of them out at the moment because it's dry. We could just about get in 1 lap for each. I say 2 laps, I mean a lap each for the drivers. Let's see, that rain's probably going to come probably by the time we get to Sector 1. So this may not be worth it, but everyone's doing it. So let's just see how this rolls. Let's see how this rolls. Okay, they're starting their laps. Water on track at the moment, so I've just continued on. We'll see if it's going to be any good, but people already on inters, and now the rain's fully come out, and pretty much looks like everyone is going to be stuck out here when it's all raining. So let's go back in. No point wasting tyre wear or just time, basically, in this quali. So I'm going to bring both of them back in. No point going out. Blanc sets a lap time on 36.3, but I highly doubt that's actually going to stick, probably. We could probably set a faster lap time when you can clearly see around the 7-minute mark. It's going to get a lot drier than it is right now and was at the beginning of the session. So let's just wait for the perfect time. You can see as the rain starts to come down, pretty much as soon as you get to that second bar, I'm going to send them out. And it will be pretty much perfect conditions then, hopefully, for them to go set a good lap time out. But you can see no one's really improving. No one's moving around much. So okay, just about now, I think I'll send Cruz out first. And that was a good setup for him. Okay, look how much we jumped. 69% to 94. That's a very, that was a bold decision I had to make, but it paid off in terms of his setup. So I'll send him out. I'll wait a little bit, and then I'll send Balcazar out because it's going to be a little bit drier, but I want to get Cruz out straight away. Right, Cruz sets the fastest first sector. It's looking good, but there will be probably more time for AI cars to alter set lap times. But you can see, look at that. The top two were Inters, guys, so it really wasn't any use going out before and staying out there. But Cruz sets the fastest lap of the session so far. Obviously, everyone's on the lap at the moment, so really it's just about maybe who crosses the line last. But my drivers don't have any time left to come across the line. I mean, the track grip is really low, you can see, because there was obviously no time for the track grip to go up. So it's going to be a bit of a weird one to see. At the moment, Cruz go down the order, Balcazar goes down the order. Hopefully it's not too far down. 4th and 9th at the moment. Please, can we just keep Balcazar up in 4th? That'll be a brilliant position, to be honest. 5th place. Any more coming across the line to bump us down the order? I hopefully don't think so. Come on. You can't see it right now, but I'm holding up both my hands in a prayer motion right at the moment. Come on, please. Oh, God. Costa, Larson, Fox. Okay, Larson pits. Okay, there we go. Okay, that's not too bad. Not too bad. 5th. Unfortunately for Cruz, his lap was really quite poor. 12th place. Potentially that was maybe just going a little bit too early maybe with him. But Balcazar, 5th place. That's decent. Only 2 positions off our sponsor target. So that's also quite good. And I think we have the potential to maybe go even further up into 2nd and maybe try and get that. I would say 1st, but Blanc's been the most OP man in the known universe. So I think 2nd place is really where we're going for. But that's a decent amount of points to get really in this championship to try and secure 2nd in the Constructors. And also just get the money as well. As obviously we're trying to build more and more parts, so we need to keep the money flow coming in. But in terms of our practice knowledge, I'm going to go for race trim, and then while it's not going to rain in this race, I don't think so, so we may as well go for a risk taker. A bit of a weird one that we can't choose a dry tyre as a perk. And then for Cruz, race trim, and then I guess we'll just go nurse. We may as well just go nurse. It means we can push him harder than Balcazar potentially on the engine mode. So may as well go for that. In terms of the drive strategy, obviously just keep it going on the attack and overtake. Obviously no refueling as per usual. So let's go and see if we can try and grab that 3rd place or above. Right, here we go to 5 red lights for the Brazilian Grand Prix. 5th place with Balcazar on the grid. Let's see what we can do. Let's see how far Cruz can get up. He's been known for his really good starts this season, to be honest. So let's see. Cruz, show us what you got. I say that, he's down to 15th. I jinxed it. Balcazar's down to 9th, so she had a shocking start as per usual, really. That's something that's been consistent. Cruz had a poor start, unlike his usual self, but Balcazar had a pretty piss-poor start, which is kind of the typical thing that's happened this season so far. I really think it is the whole modelling thing that's made that happen, but hopefully she can come back up. Yes, she is, up into 8th again, so let's get back in this rhythm. Let's try and overtake some people, Balcazar, and get yourself back up there. Try and challenge. We're going to go nice and aggressive this race, I think. Got the tyre temps up to a decent level, so we'll go that down to pushing, and we'll put the fuel on, I would say medium right now. Let's save some fuel right now and keep it for the end of the race, but we're going to go quite aggressive, really, basically, with the Ultra Softs. I think that's the way to go around here in Brazil. Right, Balcazar up into 6th place. You can see the tyre temps are going down, so I'm kind of switching between neutral and conserve. I'll go back to conserve actually here. She comes up back to 5th place on the back of them. Can she overtake 5th? Come on, she's looking pretty damn punchy actually. And even in conserve mode, she's gaining sector times. Meanwhile with Cruz, he's overheating his tyres quite a bit. So we'll go conserve. But honestly, I kept him at neutral just to try and make him keep on going on, because he's only 12th at the moment, even to be a bit higher. Whereas with Balcazar, we can maybe afford to go conservative. Let me just look at the... Okay, definitely not going to rain. Definitely not going to rain. So just keep on going like this. You can see the fuel's already at a good level. So let's go back to high, actually, with both these guys, because the natural kind of course of things is to save fuel in neutral. We got the place there. So Balcazar, good work, up into 5th, going conserve. And on pushing on the fuel, try to go around the outside for 4th place. 4th place man is on this soft tyre, so the hope is we'd be able to try and overtake them. But at the moment, finding it difficult. But Balcazar goes side by side, round the outside. Nice stuff, girl, nice stuff. Up into 4th. So now I'll continue to conserve, continue pushing the fuel. And we will try and do the same for Cruz, although his tyre temps aren't coming down. I think they've got to that point where his tyre temps are so high that I just can't bring them back down, even though I'm conserving. So really, maybe in hindsight of that, let's just go to neutral there and just really push on with him. Meanwhile with Balcazar, we're good enough to go back to neutral now. You can see it's a pretty good level. We're going to keep on high because you can see 0.24 fuel really wasn't much of an issue for that entire time. So that's all good. That's fine. Minus 2.2 seconds there. So a lot of time gained on that last lap. 125.7 compared to 127.2. So she is absolutely gunning it at the moment. Let's go back to conserve. I'm having to play a bit of tic-tac here with neutral and conserve here because the tyre temp seems to be very, very sensitive with her, or even with Cruz, really. 13 laps remaining, though. And the tyre wear really is non-existent for everyone. So we're looking good to keep on going like this and just hope she keeps up this pace. I mean, she is catching third place. So at this rate, we will catch them eventually. Right, I'm going to put attacking for Cruz as he comes across the line. I'm going to pit in this lap with Cruz. Going to go to a set of super soft tyres yet. So that's going to be 11 laps to go on super softs. They'll go 15 to 17. So by that logic, I think he'll just be able to push. Remember, we don't have any race trim, tyre trim for any of these tyres. So it's, I would say, worth just going on super softs maybe for Cruz. He's a bit further back, so maybe I can just keep on pushing. There'll be more tyre wear to play with, so that's my thinking there. So we're going to pit on for super softs with him at the end of this lap. He's going to attack in. Meanwhile, with Balcazar, we'll continue going on for maybe one more lap, I think. Maybe one more lap. I think these guys, are they going to pit in? No, Shah's not going to pit in. Fisher is. So we'll continue on with Shah and continue on for one more lap here. And now we'll push in and give it everything we've got for this in lap here. Pit on for another set of ultra softs. Park conditions looking a-okay. We'll go for a balanced pit stop with Balcazar because he's further up there. Let's see this pit stop. Mistake on the pit stop there for Cruz, but we have to risk it there with his pit stop. But now he can attack for all he's worth. Go medium there, but we'll go on pushing. But we'll go balance with Balcazar, play it a little bit more safe, and she comes through to overtake. I think that was Shah. She overtook into the pits. That's pretty good. Okay, come on, please, please, please. Good pit stop. Okay, comes out in fourth, but it was a decent pit stop. We'll now go down to medium. We'll go on to pushing, and that'll be a-okay. Now, as soon as these tyre temps get into a good region for Cruz, I'll keep it neutral. I think I'll put it neutral now, to be honest. Whereas with Balcazar, I think she responds better to going pushing and then conserving. And that was a very nice, easy overtake there she just made on Fox. So she's up in the third place. Actually, I was wondering why. It's because Fox, look at that tyre wear there on the left. He's actually pitting now. He's going down the order there. Look at that tyre wear. Horrendous. And Balcazar, as I look over on the left, has overtaken for second place. Nice stuff. Nice stuff. Let's go down to conserve now because this is that good region where, you know, it's that kind of, as I mentioned, balancing act. Well, at the moment, Cruz just overtaken someone. He's up into 13th, but now he's back down to 14th. Now back up into 13th. That was a mouthful. There's some people making pit stops potentially. Balcazar's looking A-okay, so you know what? I'm going to leave her right now. She's good. You can see the tyre time's going down nicely, so we'll put that back to neutral for a little bit. Go back to Cruz. Let's see what his race is looking like. He's not really moving anywhere, is he? 6 laps remaining, only in 13th place. Yeah, he's not really going anywhere. This is kind of probably the... Well, it's partly because of his qualifying, but also because, remember, we gave Cruz space. We gave Balcazar the best parts that we have available. So I can't really blame Cruz too much for his performance here. And obviously, we didn't have the best qualifying ever, and that was my bad. So really, I can't really expect too much else from him, apart from if he pulls out some worldly moves. He's up into 11th. So there's... Actually, let's see. Is that 10th? 9th? 7th is there as well. 7th's there as well. Where's 6th? 6th just off the road. Cruz could get them if he pushes hard enough. I know the tyre temps are skyrocketing, but there's no point putting him on conserve at this point with only 5 laps remaining. We may as well just make him shred his tyres and just try and catch up to the guys ahead. Meanwhile, going back to Balcazar. This is Balcazar. Where's Blanc? About an entire sector almost ahead. So... actually, no. I would say less than half, less than a sector, actually. He's only just about there. So, you know, if the racing gods want to give us a miracle, maybe his car breaks down, we could catch him, potentially. Potentially. I mean, it's highly unlikely, but maybe with the racing gods, you know, I'm going to look up to the ceiling of my room. You know, if the racing gods could please, you know, Blanc, he's got enough luck and enough performance, you know, if you could just, you know, give him a little puncher or something, I don't know. That'd be good. No? Okay, then. Right, it's the final lap of the Grand Prix. Balcazar is been on a late charge here, but it's no use. The gap was way too large for us to gain here. But, you know, I just thought we'd try and set the fast lap of the Grand Prix potentially at the end of the race. She does so. Hopefully that doesn't get beaten, because that's worth a point there. That's worth an extra point if she does get fastest lap. Meanwhile, with Cruz, still in 12th. He's actually being chased by 13th place, so he didn't actually even catch up to that little pack I was looking at. So Cruz finishes in 12th. No points for him today. Balcazar, more importantly, gets our sponsor money, gets the fast lap of the Grand Prix, I hope, I think. I'm not too sure. Has anyone set a fast lap time? Don't think so. 1:21.8. That was a blistering lap time there. So I think we might have got that extra point. Fast lap. So all actually, quite a positive race for her. Pretty damn decent, you know. If you ignore Blanc, who we know is OP as hell, basically we came first. Essentially, I mean, if you think like that, we're actually having a banger season. We're actually having a great season if you just discount Blanc. And we did get fast lap. Okay, that's the first time, I think, ever on this game I got the bonus for fast lap. That's pretty cool. So we'll get one extra point there, I think that is. I think worth. And then we'll get a second place trophy. So all in all, really decent Grand Prix. We're back up into second in the drivers with Balcazar. Cruz, unfortunately, down to fourth. Overall, a net gain there. Because in the constructors, you can see a nice 7-point gap to third place there. You can see Thornton, though, as ever, with Blanc just getting win after win. It's going to be very hard to catch them. So very much we're looking forward to next season. Knock on wood that we can potentially challenge for that F1 promotion, but at the moment we're looking, we're going from strength to strength in terms of how Balcazar's performing, how the car's performing now, and now's the kind of time where I think it happened the last few seasons, where now about over halfway through the season, now we hit our stride with the car being reliable, fast somewhat, and we can just keep on getting this amount of money, which is nearly 1 million there. That's a pretty nice amount of money to get. So, what we got here? So, our interview, car condition, what the hell's that? Blanc, Pips, no, that's fine, that's the previous news. Except interview, must be delighted for that podium. Yes, I am. It's a great result for her. Cruz struggled. I'm going to, improve his morale, because obviously I think a lot of it had to do with the fact that I screwed up his qualifying, and potentially, obviously, an adding factor would be his car. Also, I completely forgot that we were upgrading the telemetry center, so that's going to be done in 4 weeks' time. I actually forgot about that. In terms of our part design, gearbox getting done in 7 days, so that's pretty decent. Car repairs done. We've got new sponsors there, you can see on the bottom right, but let's first focus on this again. Right, what do we want to improve? I think I want to improve... actually, you know what? Why don't we just go full performance? Why don't we go full performance? We had no issues with reliability that last race, so let's just go full 20 performance there. Yeah, let's just go full performance. I mean, I may as well add some things for the sake of adding, but, I mean, it's not going to get redone. 102 days. That's a bit ridiculous, but we may as well add them, I guess. So 72. Yeah, let's just keep it like that. Yeah, okay, sponsors, what we've got? Slot 4, we only got 1. Cortez tyres, upfront payment 2 million, fixed per race 500k. Is that similar to what we've got at the moment? That's actually probably, yeah, that's equaling the best payment we got so far. So let's go with them. Yeah, 2 million up front. I'm not going to say no to that. And that's going to match our best fixed per race fee, so that's decent. And in slot 3, we got Squilado, Ambrosio, and Rifra. We've got the new helipad. So, or is that being built? I can't remember. Did it get built already? Helipad, yeah, max level reach. So let's wait, because we could get a 5-star sponsor coming out of the blue with the helipad there. So let's just hold on here. Let's just hold on. These deals aren't brilliant either. You can see clearly, none of them even going over 1 million. So let's hold off for now. Let's hold off. Also, kind of swinging back to something we haven't talked about for a while, which is the actual driver market and what we're doing. Obviously, I mentioned we're just going to keep Cruz for the rest of the season. It's his last year, so we can finally get rid of his shite contract. And I think the general consensus is we need to offload him. But in terms of the drivers we're going for, in terms of the ones I have scouted already, you can see there's quite a number of them. Vial, we've got, I can't even pronounce this guy, her name, Sophia. I'm just going to say Sophia. We've got a whole load of other people. Harry Webb, Roth, Lindroth, Cyril. We've got a whole load of people we could choose, potentially. These guys are all unemployed as well. That's actually the bigger thing, the people who are unemployed. In terms of people I don't have, I still have to scout. We've got quite a few left to scout, potentially. I'm just trying to look at some young guns. There's not many young guns left to scout, really. I've scouted most of them in the God Name universe, so... I'm trying to look. Is there a... No, that's 24. Might be worth it. 24. 30, 21. Okay, Russian 21 might be worth it. 28 Brazilian. Nope. Any more? No, that's all the youngsters left. So we'll scout those two, but it's looking like we may be looking at one of these guys to replace Cruz. Obviously, Cruz is only 3 stars. These guys are 4 and a bit. 4, 3 and a bit. No, 3 and basically 3 and 9/10. 3.5, 3.5. All these guys are much better than Cruz, so we could potentially go for any of them. It's just about picking the driver. And I'm still hoping that somewhere out of nowhere we get some worldly scouted guy. But I doubt it. But actually thinking about that, might be worth getting a scout, getting the scouting facility to level 2. I don't know. How much is it going to cost us? 5 million. That's quite a bit. I think it's worth 5 million to me. I don't know. Let me know, guys. Let me know what you think I should do for headquarters-wise, because we're going to get this done in 4 weeks' time. So what should my next step be for the headquarters? We've got design, factory, telemetry again, scouting, staff. Let me know. Let me know. We've got a nice spread here, apart from design, but obviously we're going to fix that. So the hope is we'll be good. We'll be on all green for all of them. So let me know. Or maybe we just go for new buildings. Maybe we design a new building. In terms of new building, let me know what you think I should get. We've got tour center, forecast center, wind tunnel, test strat, simulator. We've got all these many buildings we can build. I just don't know which one to go for. So let me know. Let me know. Right, gearbox is finished. We've got a new sponsor there, level 1, slot 1. Play Sport. We got a bonus for the home Grand Prix, and I think that's coming up, isn't it? British Grand Prix is always at the end, I believe. Yes, it is. So it is worth getting this purely for the fact it's going to be a 2x2 for the British Grand Prix. So that's a nice and easy target to get for that British Grand Prix. So that's why I'm going to take it. We won't probably use it for a lot of these next races, but I'm purely going to save that up for the British Grand Prix. And also, remember for next season, then we can use that to good effect. Right, what we got going on? Gearbox is done. Let's fit this, not fit this bad boy. We're going to actually improve the reliability of this bad boy first. Right, so, gearbox, add that on. We're going to go max reliability. That's going to get done 1 day before the race. So that's good. That'll be our best gearbox. Not quite yet. It would be if we can improve it. Let's actually try do a half here. That's not going to actually work. Actually, we won't get the reliability in time. Like, I'm going to go with this, and I'm going to potentially try and give this gearbox to Cruz, who can do the nursing perk. Right, let's build another part, shall we? New part. We've got the money. Right. What should I go for? We've got. Can I now design great? Yes, I can. Okay, let's design a new gearbox for next season. Right, so we're going to go for risk level, acceleration plus 60. Or should I do 40 to max? No, that's going to be, okay, that. 40 to max. And then plus 25 to max, even bigger potential. That's 623, that's 618. So that's the biggest potential max I think we can get. Or is this bigger? No, that's 603. Yeah, that's the biggest potential I could get on this gearbox. That's the highest I could hope for this gearbox. 623. 1.4 million. It's got a risk level. Remember, doesn't matter. We're going to save this for next season. So, this is a part for the future. Right, so something's come up about the GMA. So, tyre supply to change to Brutus for 2021 ? So, Brutus tyres are considered to be more performance focused than the offering of their American counterparts. In theory, this could benefit teams whose sole focus is on cornering ability. That sounds like something I want, because I'd rather have tyres that go off but perform better. So that fits with my aggressive philosophy in life in this game. So I think I would spend a fair few votes on that. So that's going to be something to think about. Let me know what you think about that as well, because that's going to come up later, I hope. Hopefully, knock on wood, it's not going to come up this episode. No, it's not. So I'll do this vote next episode. So let me know about this. Does it make sense, my reasoning? I think going for this one, Brutus tyres, more performance, more aggressive. I think that's going to work out for us, I think. So anyway, we're going to move on to Sydney. It's time. In terms of the improvements we made on that gearbox, we got to 69%. That's pretty decent. We got up to 507 for the gearbox. So we didn't beat the current best gearbox we have, but we did beat the other 2 options. So that is a net improvement on that gearbox, and it's still got a long way to go. So, in terms of the part fitting, oh, actually, first the sponsor targets, we'll go for 1.4 million there with Transantarctic. Let's try and see if we can get second potentially. It's going to be a heavy rain race, actually, though. So, how confident do I feel I could do that? That will be... Actually, hang on. What's that? So, projected finances are 1.1 compared to 1.6. You know what? Let's go for Play Sport. Should we go for Play Sport? I'm not sure how confident I am for heavy rain. Let's just go for it. I should be targeting second place at this rate. I really should. Despite even some heavy rain, I should be targeting it. Anyway, fit parts. Obviously, new gearbox. So I'm going to give that one to Cruz. With obviously the nurse perk in mind. And the suspension, we already gave the new one to Balcazar. I forgot about that. So in terms of the rear wing, yep. Front wing, yep. And the brakes, yep. Okay, everything that's better is going to Balcazar. Okay. Right, so in practice with about 20 seconds to go, we've got level 2 on the race trim. Level 2 super soft tyres. I just tried a little pop with qualifying trim, but there's just clearly not enough time there. So we chose early on what we're going to go for, which is the super softs and the race trim, and we got a decent level. We're on I think a 97% setup with Balcazar, and I think a 98% with Cruz. So decent practice enough. It is going to rain, it says in the race and in quali, so we'll see how it goes, but it could be a lot like what Brazil was for quali, at least. For the race, it might be basically the flip. It's basically almost, yeah, it is probably going to be the opposite of what Brazil was as a race weekend. It's going to be all dry in practice, which it was, and then raining in the race, which I think it will do. It's just about how much, really, and at the moment, in qualifying, it's dry for now, so I think I might take qualifying again. I'm feeling a bit more confident now after having got 5th place with Balcazar last time. And the water on tracks are not going to be out for a while, so there could be the potential to slip in a good result. At the moment, forecast all dry, so yeah, let's go for it. I would say super soft medium. Super soft medium, can't really choose anything else. Car setup's all good. Let's try it. Let's try it again. Yeah, I'm feeling much better about this one. Right, it's always starting to rain in the middle of their lap time, so. It's going to be tricky. Is it going to rain for the rest of the session? If it does, it pretty much is based on this lap time now. Balcazar only in 6th place there. If it is based on this lap time, it's going to be 6th best then, I would say. Because if it continues to rain, that's basically going to be it. Cruz finishes up in 12th place. I think that's it. I think that's pretty much it. Looking at the wet weather on track, you can see it's just not going to let up. So I think pretty much we are going to start in 6th and 12th. So a little bit less than it was in Brazil, but also if we remember back to like Japan in previous races, you're pretty much the same as taking the instant, or you know, even a little bit better than what we did in Japan at least. So I don't know. Look, it might get a little bit dry right at the end of it. Maybe worth to sneak out one little lap at the end there potentially. Right, Cruz did not make the cut-off time. He did not make it, so it was a bit too late for him. Balcazar's not improving, so. To be fair, it didn't really matter too much then, as the track is still too damp to set a fast lap time. So it's going to be 6th and 12th for Cruz. I was hoping that this dry period could have gone even drier, but you can see it was still, you can see that little water on track thing, so it still was a little bit damp. So yeah, it's pretty much the same as Brazil, pretty much, I think. Near enough, exactly the same, actually, apart from just Balcazar 1 place less. But, it's better than Japan, so anything's better than that. Right, race strategy, super soft race trim, and for Cruz, I'll go super soft race trim. I don't think we need to use the nurse condition, I don't think, this race. No, we won't use it. I don't think we need to use it. I think it's fine like that. Setup's still good. We'll go aggressive on the start, and let's just hope for a pretty decent Grand Prix, like what Brazil was, and potentially, hopefully, we can get at least Balcazar up there. I'm not too sure about Cruz yet again, but we'll see how his start is. Hopefully, this time he starts a little bit better than he did at Brazil, but we'll see, we'll see. Here we go, 5 red lights to the Australian Grand Prix. Come on, guys, let's do this. From 6th and 12th, they are off. Balcazar gets bogged down by that car there, actually. You can see there, she was actually getting a decent start, and then got bogged down by one of the turquoise cars. Meanwhile, Cruz... Okay, he's gained a position, so it was a better start than he had at Brazil. Meanwhile, Balcazar yet again losing positions on the race start. That's pretty much a characteristic of her driving right now. But we'll fast forward this on, and we'll see. Hopefully, obviously, as the tyre temps go up, they start to find their rhythm and their groove, and especially Balcazar. Hopefully she can get a move on. Cruz still 11th, so at least he's not dropping positions. He's actually closing up to the pack there. And Balcazar now making a move for 6th. Nice stuff, girl. Nice. Okay, here we go. Starting to make the climb up with Balcazar. Let's do this. Can she get 5th? Oh, down the inside. Come on. Come on. Round the outside. Oh, unable. The 5th place car, Larson's doing quite well to defend. Down the inside. Lovely little dive bomb move there by Balcazar. And she's up into 5th. And now challenging 4th place. Up into 4th. She's on it like a car bonnet at the moment. Up, ooh, nearly around the outside for 3rd. Looking very, very tasty here. Oh, Balcazar up into 3rd place. What is going on with you? Loving life at the moment. Loving it. In the second, fastest second sector there. So fast up the Grand Prix. Balcazar is literally on it. And now's the time to go neutral. You can see it's a perfect tyre temperature. And to keep it on high fuel because she's got good rhythm here. So let's try and overtake these guys. And then we'll think about the fuel a little bit later. And we go up into 2nd place. Just about. Oh, 3rd place comes back though. 3rd place comes back. Come on, come on, come on. Oh, no, no. She's lost it again. Oh, come on. Let's get 2nd place back. Come on. You can do it. You can do it. I'm just thinking a little bit. We might need to go to neutral now. I think that was her one and only chance for this stint to overtake. So let's go back down to medium there. Try and get the fuel back down. Looks like our tyre temps aren't actually that critical. Because I went on conserve with Cruz and his tyre temps dropped into the blue. So looks like we can actually afford to push a bit more in this race without the tyre temps shooting up there actually. Also, I've just noticed at the moment, 1st place isn't Blanc, it's Fisher. Who would have thought? Blanc's actually not leading this race. How is that, Blanc? How is that? How's your sweet, blessed OP ass not in 1st place by about 30 seconds? I don't know. But at the moment, Fisher's doing a great job to defend from you. And we look at how much time we gained there. We were so close to these 3. It's a bit of a kind of a... How do you say? I can't remember the word for it. Something effect where basically it looks like you're closing in, but you're not really closing in that much. But we're keeping up with this pack. Tyre wear's decent. I think it might be time to push in at the end of this lap. Yeah, we'll push in and end this lap. Right, we're going to push in. No one's going to pit this lap from what? That's 3, so it's definitely time to push. Come on. Lovely. Nice. Up into 2nd. Looking decent. Looking decent. Up into 1st. Oh, my God. I didn't notice that. Okay. Keep it calm, Arav. Keep it calm. We're in 1st. Don't bottle this. We're in 1st. Right. We took these tyres 8 laps. Another 8 laps. 16. Another 8. 24. Perfect. Perfect mathematics there. Pit strategy looking good. We're going to go on, I don't want to risk it. We're going to go safe pit stop. Safe pit stop. Don't want to risk it in 1st place. Don't want to risk it. And we've got enough time to Cruz that we can pit in this lap with Cruz as well. We've got enough time there. So we'll pit in. We'll go balance for him. And we're going to push in. Right, low fuel as she comes through into the pits. Same for Cruz. Here we go. Safe pit stop. Oh, what? Are you kidding me? We did a... Haha. How ironic is that? We did a safe pit stop and we made a mistake and we had a good pit stop with a balanced one. How funny is that? That is just... It just had to be, didn't it? It just had to be. It just had to happen to us. Right, so in the grand scheme of things, looks like we're behind Fisher and Blanc. That's Blanc. That's Fisher. Okay, it's good to know that for once. For once I did the good thing about going safe on the pit stop. And my team bottled it. Okay, good to know. Good to know. Good to know. Okay, come on, Balcazar, please. Come on, overtake Fisher. We're behind Fisher. We were racing him before. Come on, please, please. Blanc's getting away now in 1st place on those super softs. Not looking good. Looks like we're going to have to settle back down for the 2nd place is the 1st place in this race. Because for a brief stint, I thought we could maybe get 1st there. But then my team decided, nope. So it looks like we're going to try and get 2nd at best. And to do that, we need to overtake Fisher here, who's just up the road in 4th. Being defended by Nightingale, though, in 3rd place. Come on, Balcazar, come on. Yep, okay, made that move. Nice. Nice. I didn't see that, so I didn't react much to it. But we're up into 4th place there, ahead of Fisher. Going to conserve the tyres a little bit, because they're on a bit on the worn side. So let's conserve a little. Tyre temp's going a little bit down, though, so we'll go back to neutral. With Cruz, we can go neutral now. His tyre temp's in a perfect position, and he's looking a lot better on fuel than Balcazar is at the moment. But we're looking decent for both drivers, because Cruz is actually up into 8th. So he's done some great work there, actually. He's done some great work. Right, up into 2nd now, Balcazar. So all order is resumed, apart from being in 1st, because now Blanc, because of that pit stop, we've allowed him to get away. And the gap is now 19 seconds. How is that even possible? Is that even humanly possible? How did he get 19 seconds in one stint? That's crazy. That's mad. I want to know what Blanc's, what his team's been feeding him. What the hell? 20.4. Wow. If Blanc was a real driver, he would literally be dominating everything in motorsport at the speed he's got, apparently. Right, it's starting to rain. It's starting to rain. Pit in. Right, it's starting to rain. It's going to go full wet. So I'm going to pit in Balcazar, wet tyres. Gearbox is looking a little bit on the sheepish side, but that's fine. We'll go balanced. Right, Balcazar's in. Come on, let's make this a good pit stop. Go on low fuel. Go on low fuel. Right, she comes out in second place, so she retakes the place she was in. So we didn't lose any positions there, and we're looking decent enough. And Cruz comes out in fifth. He's looking decent. Let's pit for Inters. No, no, no. I know what the weather's going to look like. It's going to be full wet soon. And also, ignoring that, every car is on full wet, Balcazar. Why would you want to go into Inters? It's clearly not the time for it. And remember now, Balcazar's got that perk of being good in the wet. So this is her. This is Blanc. I'm feeling good about this. Come on. Come on. Let's use this perk. Balcazar definitely has this perk. I'm not making this up. Of being better in the wet. So let's do this. Come on. We're catching. We're catching. 5 laps remaining. Balcazar is catching. The gap is 4.3 at the moment. Ah, come on. Come on. Also in Cruz as well. Cruz is not doing too bad either. He's in 5th place. That's at least 2 points there. And hopefully he can defend from 6th place, who's right behind him. And I think he's catching 4th. I think he's just about 1/10 faster than Costa there, so he could catch 4th, actually. So hopefully he just keeps on going like this. Although, what's the weather doing? Okay, it stopped raining, but it's still going to be full wet for the entire race. That's fine. So in terms of fuel, how are we looking? Okay, so I can probably afford to go high with Cruz. I'm going to go neutral again for Balcazar and keep that down. And just be doubly safe. We're not going to run out of fuel. But we're looking good to go on high for a little bit with Cruz and pushing on. I'm going to go attacking with Balcazar. We've got the tyre wear. We've got the tyre temp to do it. So let's go for it. Come on. Oh, engine failure there. Engine failure for 20th place there. Smoking. So that car goes up in smoke. So we're good for fuel now. So we're going to go back onto high. Right, pace is increasing. -2 seconds on that lap time. 2 laps remaining. Gap is 3.82. Going to go on high. Going to keep on attacking. I'm just going to keep on attacking. Fuck the tyre temps. Just keep on attacking. Keep it going. She's closing in. She's closing in. We're on 0.0 of fuel. Come on. Oh, come on. We're getting so close. So close. Go back to high. Go back to high. We've got 0.02 left. Come on. Overtake mode. Come on. Come on. Oh, back down to 0.0. Overtake mode across the line. Come on. Push it. Oh, so close. We were within 1.58. We were within 1.58 of making that first place. But it's not to be. But I'm not going to sound too sad about it because it is still 2nd place. And for the first time in a long while, it looks like we could have really battled Blanc there for 1st place. But that's a stellar job by both drivers. 2nd, 5th. That is a really decent race. That was a good race for us here, Australia, which is not typically been a good circuit for me. I remember when we first came here to Australia, I really did not like the circuit. Strategy didn't work for me out then, but that was a decent race. I think if it wasn't for that mistake on the pit stop, on the first stint, we would have had 1st for sure. And I went safe on that pit stop. So honestly, I can only blame my team a little bit for the finger troubles on the first pit stop. Otherwise, we would have had 1st, I think. So that's going to be 6 points only there. And Blanc takes 14 with the fast lap of the Grand Prix and pole position there. So really, truly, we're not going for 1st place again in the championship. But it's going to be 2nd still. And you can see they're getting an 11-point gap to Balcazar. So I think that's my new target for this season. I can't get 1st, but I'm going to make sure I can get as many points as I can with Balcazar. Really, really go and solidify 2nd place and just kind of flex the muscles a little bit there. And for the constructors, we've done some good work there. We're ahead by 12 points, that is. So we've increased that gap a little bit, I think that was, from last race. So all in all, as I said, successful Australian Grand Prix, I think. And we got 1.234 there. So I was right to risk it for a chocolate biscuit of Transantarctics because we got a good load of money. More money to spend on more parts. We're just going to keep on spending it. I think quite a few of you guys were saying that. Just keep on spending it on new parts. That's all I can really do at this point to try and improve the car. So just keep on doing that. But before we round off, going to do this interview with XBC. Delighted for that podium. Yes, it's a great result for us. It's a great work for her. And Cruz was tipped for a very high position. Only managed 5th. No, nothing to worry about. I think that was a decent position considering where he qualified, so I'd say that's good. And, yeah, okay, Balcazar's feeling good. Thanks for the podium. He's got a little podium perk there. And good stuff. So, when is this part going to get finished? In 7 days' time. You know what? Let's finish off this part, and let's add a new part to our tally. Oh, what is this? Oh, no. Boss, it's a disaster. We caught Bishop trying to sneak information out of the garage. She might be going to leak it to some of the other teams. What should we do? Fire her? A fine should suffice. Leave it. Right, if we fine her, we get 175,000. Minus 25 on relationship and happiness. But we just signed a new contract with her. Like, I was feeling good about her. So, I'm just going to fine her. Right, car repair is done. So, let's improve parts. So, let's work on performance again. We'll keep this gearbox on because it still needs work. So, let's look at what needs maxing out. This does. This could be maxed out more. That could definitely be maxed out. That's suspension. Brakes we've actually maxed out quite well. And the front wing we've maxed out as well. So, we may as well just continue improving some of the parts we've got then. Front wing there. Set of brakes here. We can improve those. So, let's just allocate it like this. Okay, the gearbox that we're designing is not going to get done until after this vote with the tyres. But I want to know what you guys think about the tyre decision. So, that's going to be the biggest question for you guys for next episode is, do we vote quite big for this tyre, Brutus tyre? So, I've got additional voting power for. Brutus tyre produce performance-focused tyres, allowing slightly more speed around the track. These tyres aren't quite as durable as Cortez tyres. So, let me know what I should do. That's for next episode. This is where I'm going to leave it. If you did enjoy that one, hit that like button. Let's try and aim for over 1,000 likes, guys, on this episode. I know the last one, I know it was quite negative, and it wasn't the best episode in terms of entertainment. Hopefully this one was a lot better. I was feeling a lot better about that one, especially Australia. We are within sight of getting that absolute prick Blanc for first place. So, I think that's a good sign. That can only improve, getting that close to Blanc, smelling the victory. But, yeah, hopefully it was a bit of a better one for you guys. So, hopefully you guys can hit that like button for me. And let me know what you thought in the comments below. Let me know about all that stuff I questioned you guys about in terms of the sponsors. What was it? The GMA, and also the part, potentially, of what part you guys think I should do next. I'll just quickly show you. That's our car. So, basically, look at that. Let me know what, in your opinion, you think we should do next. But yeah, if you are new around here as well, do subscribe for weekly form on content. I've been aarava. Enjoy the rest of the day. I'll see you guys next time.